If you're anything like me, you're most likely confused by the often dizzying number of terms being thrown around when it comes to autism. You may have heard things such as Aspergers or Rett Syndrome, or even Autism Disorder, including mild, severe, high functioning, and low functioning. What people don't understand, or often don't even realize, is that these terms really don't exist anymore. Yes, it's true. Instead, the terminology used to define autism was simplified and has now been reduced to ASD, or Autism Spectrum Disorder. Well, at least it seems like a simple idea, right? That's exactly what I thought as I began researching this topic. I was shocked to find out that really isn't the case. Okay, truthfully, when it comes to special education, I just go in with the assumption that the topic I'm researching is going to be confusing. In all reality, such is the case with autism. However, in today's video, I will break down what you need to know regarding autism and work to give you a clear idea of when the shift in terminology took place, the facts surrounding ASD, or Autism Spectrum Disorder, which now encompasses all former areas of autism-related diagnosis, how to gauge exactly where your child falls on the autism spectrum, and how to decipher the cryptic special education language when it comes to autism. Welcome to this episode of Special Education Decoded. Prior to 2013, there were multiple different specifically diagnosed conditions which all fell under the umbrella of autism. Examples include autistic disorder, pervasive development disorder, not otherwise specified, or PDD-NOS, that's an interesting acronym, Aspergers syndrome, childhood degenerative disorder, Rett syndrome. Also, at the same time, different qualifiers which had been used for a long time also became obsolete. Terms such as severe, mild, low functioning, and high functioning. These were eliminated because it was determined that those terms tended to overgeneralize a person's situation. So when did the great change in labels related to autism take place? As I mentioned before, it was all the way back in 2013 when the latest edition of the DSM, or Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, was published. This specific edition, known as the DSM-5. Now, for those that don't know what the heck a DSM even is, which up until recently most certainly included me, let's define it. The DSM, according to psychiatry.org, is the handbook used by healthcare professionals in the US and other parts of the world as the authoritative guide to the diagnosis of mental disorders. This includes the descriptions, symptoms, and other criteria for diagnosing mental disorders. Anyway, when the DSM-5 came out, experts concluded that a diagnosis within the autism spectrum tended to shift over time. Also, this diagnosis was particularly dependent on the provider who made the diagnosis. Because of this unpredictability, the experts decided upon a single diagnosis of ASD, or Autism Spectrum Disorder. I can read your mind right now. You're thinking, okay, Luke, but how is the severity of ASD expressed today? Through levels 1, 2, and 3. What do these levels mean, you're asking? Well, let's unpack that. Starting with level 1. ASD level 1 requires support. People in this category tend to exhibit lacking interest in social interaction. They have inflexibility of behavior, anxiety or difficulty in switching between different activities. They have challenges with organization that hampers independence. People diagnosed with level 1 autism may prefer to stick to established routines or risk feeling uncomfortable with changes, especially unscheduled events. However, most often, people with level 1 autism are able to communicate verbally and often engage socially in relationships, though friendships may not come naturally. Next, let's move on to level 2. ASD level 2 requires substantial support. Folks in level 2 often show challenges with verbal and nonverbal social communication. The initiation of social interactions is limited. They have reduced or abnormal responses to social overtures from others. They have difficulty in changing focus. Folks who have level 2 ASD may only participate in short conversations or may need extensive support to participate in social activities. Lastly, let's talk about level 3. ASD level 3 requires very substantial support. Folks with level 3 autism show many of the same signs as both level 1 and level 2, but to a much more intense degree. Things such as social communication can be non-existent. Social skills are often completely non-existent as well. Repetitive or restrictive behaviors tend to get in the way of functioning independently. Some examples include rocking, spinning, either themselves or other things, and flapping. People with level 3 ASD often do not communicate verbally at all or can be very limited. Today, most folks with ASD have a specific impairment or disorder that accompanies the original autism diagnosis. This offers a way to get more specific assistance. Things such as intellectual impairment or language impairment, or any known medical or genetic condition, and any other neurodevelopmental, mental, or behavioral disorder. Here's the bottom line. I've said this a lot, but I will say it again. Labels should not define a person. Instead, labels in special education are merely designed to ensure children receive what they need in order to reach their excellence. In the one-on-one virtual tutoring world we live in, labels such as autism are merely a small part of what we use to create a virtual, individualized learning experience for the children and adults we have the opportunity to work with. Labels such as autism open doors to services specific for your child. However, that only scratches the surface toward figuring out exactly what your child needs and how they need information taught. If you're interested in exploring how a customized learning experience could benefit your child, check the description of this video for a link to additional information, along with a simple and free way to get started. From all of us at SpecialEdResource.com, thank you for watching this episode of Special Education Decoded. We'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Please take a moment, give us a thumbs up. Your support means the world to us. If there's a specific topic you're interested in, please leave a comment. Until then, enjoy these other videos designed to help parents navigate the crazy world of special education. Thank you.